No reason to say it, Greeny. It's ridiculous, right? Like, don't go to your locker room and say, hey, we've already made the decision in June of what we are. We're in a competition. Everybody on the football team should be competing right now at who's going to be the starter at their position. And are some going to be easier jobs to win than others? But when you draft Justin Fields and you have expectations of what this young man can do for your offense and for your football team, you don't say these things. You just let him go. You say, hey, we're in a QB competition right now. Andy's still our starter until unseats him. Everybody in the locker room loves that. They do not like it when the coach says, oh, because we made some decision back in March, this is how we're going. No one wants to do that. Think about Russell Wilson and Matt Flynn years ago, right? Russell, because we just paid Matt Flynn all this money, we're going to let him be the guy? No, it's because Russell Wilson won the job. Give Justin Fields full opportunity and don't make comments like this that set you back in the locker room.
Mike T, what do you think?
Yeah, I was shocked as well. Look, I was around Coach Belichick a number of times. He always said the best players play. We go by what we see. Let's go back to 2000. Tom Brady is a nondescript 6th-round pick. Coach Belichick keeps 4 quarterbacks on the active roster because Tom Brady earned it. And your audience, as Jeff well knows, is the locker room. They want to know that the best players will play. Justin Fields has so much more talent than Andy Dalton. Let it just play out on the field. That was an unnecessary comment that's going to hurt his credibility in the locker room.
Seems like an unusual thing to say in June. Dan Graziano, what is the thinking there?
The one thing I thought was, I think back to Cleveland, the first year Baker Mayfield, and they had Tyrod Taylor, and they spent the whole offseason saying Tyrod Taylor's the starter over and over and over again, and he was. But when Baker had to go in week 3, I talked to people there, and they thought that the lack of pressure in the offseason, not having to be the starter, was a help to Baker Mayfield in terms of his ability to get ready. So maybe that's part of Matt Nagy's thinking. But what he's trying to do is what they did in Kansas City when he was there. Patrick Mahomes' rookie year, they played Alex Smith all year, and Mahomes stayed on the bench until a meaningless Week 17 game. You can only do that if you win. That year's Chiefs started out 5-0 and stayed in first place the whole time. So unless the Bears are going to do that, it's going to be really hard for them to keep Justin Fields on the bench.
Well, Jeff, look, in a world in which Aaron Rodgers is not on the Green Bay Packers, which feels like a very real possibility, the Bears go into this season thinking they're among the division favorites, probably the division favorite. How, if at all, does that enter into the decision-making as far as you're concerned, Jeff?
Yeah, it's job protection, right, for Nagy and for general manager Ryan Pace. They both want to keep their jobs, but I still think Justin Fields gives them the best opportunity to win. It makes their offense much more explosive, especially if they bring the zone read option in with him and what he can do with his legs moving out of the pocket. We know what Andy Dalton is. And listen, I'm not taking away from Andy Dalton's career. He's had a great career, all those things. But when you're talking about what takes your offense to the next level and can really complement that great defense they have in Chicago, I think Justin Fields would be the fit. So as soon as he's ready, Greeny, he's got to be your guy. You basically hitched your wagon to him. Let's go ahead and ride out with it.
All right, it's a curious little turn of events there in Chicago. We'll keep a close eye on the direction that it takes from there. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.